From the time this project began to now, kids have entered and graduated high school. But now, the first 1 to 2 hours of the Cascade region fan game, Swirling Seasons, is available to download at the link below. And because it's made in RPG Maker, you don't need to worry about patching a ROM or setting up an emulator. It's standalone, though PC only. It's been awesome playing it and seeing others do the same, and the more feedback, bug reports, and love given to the game's developers on the Discord server, the better. But in the time between my last Cascade video and the release of this demo, there were some new additions and changes, which is what this video is all about. During the reveal stream, some of the new things that were shown had people in chat going, "Whoa, what is that? I don't remember that!" So I want to talk about them, but I won't bore you with the lesser changes. Things like some moves or abilities I conceptualized not working out exactly as written in the videos are minor points that don't need a whole explainer. But the newly added mon and characters sure do, and we'll start with this freaking beast of a mon. Now, all of the new mon in this game were adopted from Dark and Windy, who also designed a lot of the original mon for Cascade already. And this is Stackem, a little rock type who collects additional rocks to balance on top of itself, its surroundings, and even its mate. It's said that the more rocks they can balance, the more they are respected. Balancing rocks in nature like this is nothing new. Humans have been doing it for countless millennia, usually as markers for cairns or paths to villages up ahead, sometimes as spiritual reminders or to honor nature spirits, and sometimes just because somebody was bored. It's especially common in more nature-focused cultures, so the modern-day equivalent are the boho hippie hiking camp-loving types that call the Pacific Northwest home. So it just feels especially fitting here. I swear every time I go hiking or to the beach, which is not as often as I'd like it to be, but I always see stacks like this. And in this demo, there's an entirely optional beach area that features several of these rock stacks. Did the Stackems make them? Or did people? Probably both. But I love environmental storytelling like this. What I wasn't expecting while playing through the demo though was just how intense these guys wound up. First off, their unique ability, Rocky Body. Imagine Mimikyu's ability, where it just takes a hit and doesn't get damaged, only once, but still, except it also knocks over the rock stack. Rude, he worked hard on that, and now he's just a little guy. But those rocks you knocked over, yeah, now they're on your side of the battlefield as a free stealth rock. Stackem also loves to switch between using Protect and Wide Guard, and once you think it's just an annoying little defensive guy, it blasts you! Marv is new to the game. One thing I never did in the original video series was give the evil organization, Amazol, admins. I just left it at the CEO and grunts. So, the dev team thought, and I agreed with, let's give them admins. But we'll call them shareholders. Marv is the only one for now, but there will be others because everybody loves beating up billionaires. This is Marv, CEO of FaceDex. Yes, it's one letter away from Mark, but Amazol being Amazon was already super close and on the nose. But yes, he's also wearing AR goggles, like the MetaQuest, but with screens on the outside. He finds that these Rotom eyes help him emote properly, something that Mark famously struggles a bit with. Marv is tech-savvy, but personally quirky, but when you're that rich, you can really be anything you want. And also, which Pokemon characters aren't? Norman? Larry? But him not being quirky is his quirk, you know? His team during his introductory boss battle has a new mon too. This is Cereboral, from Coral and Cerebral, which refers to parts of the brain. It's brain coral, this beautiful hunk of thing. While it's found in all oceans, it isn't exactly in the Pacific Northwest specifically. But you know what is here? The aptly named false brain coral, which is, as the name suggests, a rock that's commonly thought to be a piece of brain coral, but isn't, like this Pokemon. It is not brain coral, it is a Pokemon, and a psychic rock type at that. Given their similar lower body plan, some say they may be related to Stackem, who already tends to live close to the ocean. Perhaps, over millennia, their constant focus on balancing rocks caused them to develop psychic abilities to help them do that even better. Then, over time, it developed further so they could psychically collect and condense rock particles into the brain shape above their heads in perfect, solid balance, eventually leading to this form. This theory remains unproven, however. And here's an important announcement. Say hello to my little bright friend and their daddy! Baby Piplup is here thanks to today's sponsor, Zenmarket, who's currently offering 10% off international shipping with the code OMOTENASHI2505. The Pokemon Center in Japan sells way more cool stuff than the American one. Like this, and even these. But they only sell and ship to Japanese addresses, which are here, and odds are you're not there. But Zenmarket is, and they've made it their quest to visit over 10,000 Japan-only stores and buy what you tell them to, have it shipped to their Japanese address, and then they ship it internationally to you. Be you here, here, or yes, even here. That's how I got this, and even these. Actually, yeah, here's the whole box. Everything is so nice and safely wrapped, and collectors should consider their loyalty program where you can earn balance credits and up to 1% cash back. But everyone should check them out now with the link in the description and use the code OMOTENASHI2505 for 10% off the international shipping. Big thanks to Zenmarket for their support. We all know that Amazol has been experimenting with modifying and creating their own Pokemon for a while now, and Aeradio is another example of that. Literally a living weather balloon who can communicate via radio waves while high up in the upper atmosphere. Aero is a Greek prefix relating to flight and air, hence also Aerodactyl and Aeromancy or wind magic. And it makes sense that a region so especially focused on weather anomalies would develop a mon like this one, living as high in the atmosphere as it can, feeding on aerosol particles, butting heads with Minior, and praying it doesn't run into Rayquaza again. Though I imagine the large membrane that makes up its balloon would get stuck in Rayquaza's teeth. There is a real animal that travels in a similar way, by the way, and you've probably seen them. Spiders! Many species of spiders do what is called ballooning, or kiting, where they use their webbing to make a parachute of sorts and let the wind carry them off some distance. Aeradio, with its flying type mastery, is at least kind of able to control its rise and descent a bit. At least better than those poor spiders can, because they can't. They just go and hope they land somewhere. Which is also how most weather balloons function. They just kinda get released. They'll come down somewhere. The last Amazolmon isn't even one that they made on purpose, but rather developed alongside their growth. The normal type Bokshel literally uses a discarded box for a shell. Boxes aren't exactly the best defense, so they gotta swap the boxes to new ones constantly. Just like hermit crabs with their shells. Bokshels are definitely treated as pesky nuisances, as sometimes they don't even wait to get into an empty box and will instead porch pirate, steal your package at the door before you can get to it. A more and more common practice as time goes on, it seems. There have even been reports of people picking up their doorstep packages only to find a Bokshel inside. Kinda like a modern-day treasure chest mimic. I could definitely see these little kleptos as recurring comic relief in anime settings. But if a Bokshel is able to maintain the same box for long enough, it can evolve into Hermirt. Yeah, it's like a literal box turtle hermit now, but with razor-sharp spikes akin to box cutters. They like to keep to themselves in alleyways and mostly empty warehouses, only coming out to feed on what humans throw away. And cardboard. Their bodies have fully integrated into the box now, and thus the box itself is only like an outer layer of skin. It's got a full shell right under it in there, leading to their high defenses. Back out to the wilds of Cascade now. Some fields and forests are filled with Weepollen. Oh no! Why so sad? I'm sure you've heard the saying, when it rains, it pours, meaning when things are bad, they tend to get worse. Well, in Japan, there's this saying, which has the same meaning. Nakitsura ni hachi, which translates to a bee to a crying face. Yeah, if you're already crying because something terrible has happened, and then a bee attacks your face, things have managed to get even worse. I cannot imagine a single possible situation where a bee attacking your face doesn't somehow make the day worse. Wait! No, I thought of one. Like you're bawling your eyes out because you just saw on the news, bees have gone completely extinct, and then one attacks your face. That'd make your day a bit better. You see a bee. Thank God they're not extinct. The news is wrong. Again. Thankfully, despite the look on Weepollen's face, they aren't always having the worst day of their lives or anything. They're just filled with excess moisture due to their environment. They simply leak it out through their eyes, just like Bonsly. Or, oh no, I hope it's not allergies, because they kind of need pollen to live. These emo-seeming bug fairy types aren't your typical honeybees with hives. Instead, they are more akin to bumblebees, loners for the most part, who live all over the Americas, but their color comes from the blue carpenter bee in South Asia. The shape of Weepollen's body makes it easy for them to squeeze into small holes in the moist dirt to sleep at night, and some say if the area is quiet enough, you can hear them sniffling in their sleep. Aw. Oh, what was that? Oh, right. Oh no, someone just had a run-in with probably the worst mon. So this is Hurchin, a water fire type urchin who hurts a lot because it's also a sea mine. The Pacific Ocean was full of them in World War II after all. So what makes a cute little guy like Hurchin so bad? Well, its speed is 10 for one, adding it to the group tied for second slowest Pokemon. But the worst bit is actually its unique ability. Anxiety. Yeah, me too, buddy. But at least I haven't blown up yet. This ability triggers whenever Hurchin takes damage, which, considering how slow it is, will always happen first. And when it triggers, it uses the move Explosion. Like, at least even if it's one-hit KO'd, the explosion will still trigger, so you could always send one out as like a sweeping tank buster, which funnily is what mines themselves were used for. So I guess it's all good. Do you remember the time when those Cascade videos were new? It was also peak avocado toast time. It was the trendy food, and one always associated with hipsters and the whole Pacific Coast. I mean, it's the reason millennials can't afford houses, you know? It's not at all the fact that wages have stagnated while housing rose and we can't save money for a down payment because rent has also skyrocketed. Nope, it's avocados. But fun fact, before the name avocado, English speakers referred to the fruit as alligator pear. Some weirdos still do, and thus, while not native to Cascade, avokiddos, the avocado baby alligator, are popular mon here. You can wipe off some of their buttery oils to put on toast or fry some eggs with. It's super healthy, and that might sound strange, but like Appleton, you literally peel off its skin for a tasty snack. Animal eaters eat animals. You do have to be careful with avokiddo though. It's grass poison type. The difference between its healthy oils and its toxic sludge is subtle, but hipsters have turned detecting that into an art form. Avokiddo is then able to evolve into Alliguaca. Yes, an alligator avocado with guacamole slime. It's akin to when crocodiles and alligators look like this because of all the algae, slime, or other tiny plants covering the whole swamp, and thus them too. Alliguaca is very round for an alligator, and that's both to reference the shape of an avocado as well as the fact that avocados are mostly made of healthy fats, so fat gator, and the oversized alligator bumps along its back are like tortilla chips being dipped in guac. Unfortunately though, as an Alliguaca, the healthy oils and toxic slimes are too intermingled to safely harvest, and so there was an unfortunate trend of people abandoning their mon when it evolved. But thankfully, avokiddo keepers are now more aware of this and keep everstones to prevent this evolution. This whole relationship is inspired by the all-too-common outcome of exotic pet keeping, where they get too big or uncontrollable and they either escape on their own or their owners abandon them somewhere. This is one of the theorized origins of sewer alligators, by the way. A discarded pet. Sad. Ooh, but here's the opposite of sad. Here comes Robin, a third protagonist option? Why yes, more options are always good, especially when there's no outfit changing or anything like that. It also helps the story a bit by giving the professor an assistant that stays at home while you and the delinquent other are out and about. And plus, they give some nice non-binary representation. They're designed to be androgynous and default to they-them pronouns, but you can actually use any that you want with any protagonist because more options are good. And the praise chat gave this option during the reveal stream was awesome. Fun fact, there are 110 new moves in this game, as well as changes to 40 existing moves that make them interact more with the Weathergy system. Fun fact, while this demo doesn't focus on them, the plan for the full game is to slowly ramp up how common double battles are throughout the region, to the point where most battles will be double battles by the end. Fun fact, Skinka, the very first fakemon I ever helped to develop, is in this game, and wholly redesigned. It's basically reptilian Eevee, and covers the types that Eevee isn't cool enough for. Maybe I should do a dedicated video of it now. Fun fact, programming and sprite work is hard, so like, full respect to the dev team of this game. And while the skeleton of this game is finished, meaning the rest of it shouldn't take as long to complete as this first demo did, it's still in need of plenty of fleshing out. As such, any volunteer work, especially from sprite artists, would be extremely appreciated. Check the Discord, link below to apply. Fun fact, the introductory battles to the Amazol grunts are very good at characterizing them as burnt-out workers. I know that's technically an opinion, but that distinction barely matters these days. And I love how the first two use all steel types to show that yes, this is a steel type focused organization, but then the double battle is Drifloon and Bonsly, who are not. This is foreshadowing, because remember their new regional variants? Steel type, yeah! Fun fact! Bonsly was somehow mentioned in this video 4 times. Fun fact! This is the end of the video now. Thanks for watching. The demo download link is below, as well as the Discord, and my socials, and my merch store, and my Patreon, and the like, join, and subscribe buttons, and the sponsor link, and the comments, and the